Hi, boys and girls. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Today, we're going to be working on point of view and perspective. And normally, we'd be doing an interactive notebook in our reader's copybook, but today, we are going to watch this video. So, point of view and perspective is really important because all of us have our own point of views and we all have perspectives. And a lot of times, those point of views and perspectives are brought out in our opinions, right? Just like our opinion writings. But I want you to focus on what the difference between a perspective and a point of view is. So perspective, we can see right here, this big word. It says, while reading, we see and experience things that are occurring in the text. We can also take on the emotions of the characters. The way in which we see them, our literary lens, is called perspective. So the best way that I would describe perspective is as I'm watching a movie, I'm often taking on what the main character feels and what they want to happen. Because if whoever's telling the story, that is what I, as the listener or the viewer or the reader, that's how I feel because that is how the narrator is expressing it to me. So when I read a story, I'm seeing the perspective of whoever is telling the story. So the big picture. Perspective focuses on how the narrator perceives what is happening in the story. So how the narrator feels, what the narrator thinks, is often what the reader feels and thinks. Point of view is a little bit different. In literature, point of view refers to who is telling the story. Is the narration being done by the person who experienced something, or is it a retelling of what occurred by someone that was not a part of those events? So when we wrote our narratives in the beginning of the year, we spoke in first person, right? That story was coming from your point of view. So if you wrote your narrative on an experience that you had, it came from your point of view. When we wrote spooky stories around Halloween, some of us used the point of view of themselves. Other people used the point of view of a character they made up. So point of views varied. So the big picture. Point of view focuses on the type of narrator used in the story. So we have first person point of view, second person point of view, and third person point of view. We talk a lot about this when we read picture books in class. So first person point of view. Pronouns that are used in first person are I, me, my, we. Definition: this is when a story is told through the eyes of the character in which it happened to. Example: a boy tells his teacher exactly what happened to him at recess. He recalls the events through his eyes. He was directly involved. So in morning meeting, when I ask you about your weekend and you tell me, I went to the park, I went to the creek, I brought my mom breakfast. That is you telling a story in first person point of view because you're using words like I, me, my, or we. Second person point of view is a little bit different. Pronouns are you, your, yours, yourself, and yourselves. The definition: this point of view is not used as commonly as the first and third person point of view. The text in second person is owned by a person or people being addressed. So it's not used very often. We don't use it a lot in fourth grade, but some examples are: you can take off your shoes when you come into the house. You don't have to run to the store. Make yourselves at home. You should be very proud of yourselves. We use second person point of view a lot when we're talking to people in dialogue. So a lot of plays use second person point of view. And a lot of whenever there are directing specific people to speak. So I actually use second person all the time in class. You guys need to make yourselves comfortable in your seats so you guys can take the test, right? You can take off your jacket when you come into the classroom. So it's used a lot in talking. Third person point of view uses pronouns like he, she, it, and they, and this is seen a lot. Definition: this is when a story is told through the eyes of someone that witnessed an occurrence. They are retelling events, but the events did not happen to them. Example: Angela's grandmother is telling her stories about her mother when she was growing up. She is speaking in third person. So a lot of times when I'm retelling stories or I'm retelling someone in our class's story in morning meeting, I'm using third person point of view. Okay, so when we have stories or books using a narrator, that is when we see third person point of view. So we see words like he, she, it, they. This story is a book about Oliver. He went for a walk on a Tuesday afternoon. As he was walking, he saw a bird. See how I'm not using words like I, me, why? I'm not involved at all, but I'm telling the story about something else that has happened. So this is your third person point of view and your perspective lesson. You have perspective is how we feel reading a book because of who's telling the story. Point of view is first person, second person, and third person point of view. So today, I'm sorry about that. Today in your work, you are going to watch a video and you are going to retell the story in first person point of view as if you were the character it happening to. And then you're going to retell the story in third person point of view. So over here, you are going to be writing it using the words I, my, we. Okay, so you're going to watch it and pretend you're one of these characters. When you're retelling it in third person point of view, you're going to use pronouns like he, she, they. Okay, and then I want you to reflect. Okay, I want you to think about why does it matter, or how does point of view influence how the story is told? Does something change if it's in third person or if it's in first person? I want you to think about it. There's not really a right or wrong answer. I just want you to reflect on it. The second part of this is you're going to listen, okay, to each of these. And you're going to tell me what point of view it's coming from and what perspective it's coming from. This worksheet won't be done till later in the week. So today you're just going to be working on this. All right, boys and girls, thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great day and let me know if you have any questions at all. See ya.